Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Show. NBA Sunday here. Got 11 games on the slate, and I am back after being pretty deathly sick here for a couple of days, in addition to a couple other life things I had going on. Been a minute since the video, so excuse the nasally voice here that we've got going on for this video for Sunday. I do have a couple plays down on the card and some leans that I'm looking at here. Want to wait on a little bit of this injury news that's still coming out this Sunday for the NBA, so I will be coming out with a few more bets for the VIP definitely after getting this out as well. So if that all sounds good, give this video a like. Let's go ahead and get into it. No picks on Saturday, as it was a busy day, including trying to get better here so I could be back on Sunday. Did have a decent day on Friday. Ended up losing half a unit because at the end of the day, Jackson Hayes ended with 6 points. So that was brutal, which means we have to start over our little streak. We had a little streak going there where if we kept winning days in a row, I was going to go ahead and get all the way up to 100% off on the VIP for 2 months of access to that. So I'm going to start that over. If we win on Sunday, going to get that going again. Monday is going to be 40% off, 2 months in the VIP, and then we'll go up 5% every day that we win as we build this streak together. So let's dive into some Props Madness stuff here. Do want to remind you guys, if you want to jump into Props Madness, use code LYB. That'll get you 25% off your first month. You can also use it to see if you like it and trial it out for 7 days or so. I'm going to go ahead and skip right past this Bulls and Hornets game because it started as I'm recording this. Got a little bit late to it, but I do want to take a look at a couple things, including the first bet that I have down on the card here, and that's from this Pacers and Nuggets game. And we're going right to Christian Brown. So let's see if anything has changed here, but I like the under assists for Christian Brown. It's at 3.5. Looks like that price is dropping. You can still get minus 130 on 365 or MGM, and then everything else is about minus 150 or worse. I would take this at like minus 150. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I got this at minus 125 for under 3.5 assists for Christian Brown. We should keep in mind that Jamal Murray is questionable, but everybody else is in for the Nuggets. So that's what I want to show you guys is games with everybody that's in, and we'll leave Murray off for right now, but we'll say Jokic, Porter, Gordon, Russ. Let's say all those guys are out there alongside Christian Brown on the season, and let's make this as many games as we can. He's played 36 games with all of these guys available. He has gone over in just 8 of 36 games. He's gone under in 28 of 36. He's averaging 2.3 assists in these situations. And if you look at the potential assists, which are very important, as we know, if you're not really getting potential assists, how are you going to get regular assists? Well, in these cases, he's at, if we scroll down, 3.9 potential assists per game with all of these guys available. 4.2 on the season, so a little bit more on the season in general, but let's go ahead and even throw Jamal Murray off court. Let's say he's not playing in this game, and so we'll take him out. There have been 6 games where this has happened. He did go over this in 3 of 6, but still just 2.8 assists per game, and the potential assists are still at just 5.3 potential assists per game. If he's getting 5.3, even if he's getting 6 potential assists, I love an under on 4 assists. There's no reason that he should have that high of a success rate on his dimes today, right? If you look at the Pacers, this team is 12th in terms of limiting assists overall on the season, and they've been around the top 10 for the entirety of the season. So even if Jamal Murray is not out there, like I said, not worried about this bet. Let's take everybody else out, and let's just say Jamal Murray doesn't play. What's the numbers here? Well, 11 games for Christian Brown without Murray. 6 of them he's gone under, 5 of them he's gone over. But I think even at the 2.5, the average here of 2.5 tells you what you need to know about what you should expect from him in this game. So I'm really liking an under here for Christian Brown, rather, regardless of the status of Jamal Murray. So I already hit that under 3.5 dimes for him today. That's the only bet that I have down on the card right now. But I am going to be going through some of these leans that I'm hoping to get down for the VIP folks here over the course of the next couple hours. So I'm going next to this Rockets and Warriors game, and I'm looking at a few of the bets in here, starting with a guy that we know has done horribly against the Dubs. And this is why I still haven't put this bet down, but I'm looking at fading Jalen Green, rather, in this game. Just going to go right to the head-to-head stuff for you guys and just show you the points that he's had this season. 7, 14, 12, and 9. Then you look at the dimes, same concept, under in all 4. Even the rebounds at 4.5 boards has not gotten that against this team. So as you can probably suspect, under on the PRA in all 4 by a pretty decent margin here. 15 PRA per game. He's at 28.5 right now, even 29.5 in some spots for the PRA. And here's the conflict that I'm going through, which is head-to-head, awful, right? And even last year, he had 1 game that he went over on the PRA, and that was pretty much barely on an 8 for 20 shooting night there in the first one of the first games of the season last year against this Dubs team. Well, if you look at him this year, it's the same thing, and really the reason would probably be who's guarding him. Now, this is the crazy thing. In these first 3 games this season that he's played, Gary Payton Jr. was his primary defender, a guy who's known as a very good lockdown perimeter defender. And that's a big reason why Jalen Green went so cleanly under all of his props. He had the best defender on the other team guarding him the whole game. But this game, Gary Payton Jr. wasn't even available on February 13th. He was guarded by Pods. Brandon Pajemski was his primary defender for this game for most of the time that he was on offense, and he still did nothing. Now, granted, one of those games was like the in December was an in-season tournament game, so it was a little bit different, higher intensity, way better defense on both sides of the ball. But still, like, the numbers don't lie here. And the scariest part about taking this under is just what he's done recently, regardless of who he was playing. There's a couple games he's going under in here, but for the most part, he's going over, right? And flying over. And in these last roughly, 21 game sample size, he's over in 16 of them. He's averaging 32 PRA a game, still not flying past the number that he has here at like 29.5, if you can get that to go under it. But this is something that I think I'll be going under. I just want to see who's playing for the Dubs, because if there's key guys missing in any way for this one, then it's going to be kind of scary to take an under on Jalen Green. But if they've got their full complements of players, once I get that injury report from the Dubs to come out, this is the first place that I'm looking, which is under for Jalen Green, PRA. If anything, and you just want to take the points and you don't want the combo, I would go only points. But if you want to take the combo and just put it all together, that's what I'll be looking at, is under 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists combined for Green. On the other side of the ball, looking at a lean for Brandon Pajemski. Just need that injury report to come out for the Dubs so we can see where they're at. But if you look at the way he's played now with Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry around, dude's been killing it. So let's put both of them in and say that all the games that he's played with them. All right, about 15 points per game. If we're looking at the PRA, because I think that's what I'm looking at, 24.6. Not a huge, discrepancy here. It's not like he's going way over consistently, but let's give him more minutes is the thing. Like, he's now playing 32 to 35, 36 minutes. Like, he's a major contributor at this point. So if we give him at least 30 minutes that he's played with both Steph and Jimmy Butler on the season, we're going to go all the way up to about 28 PRA per game, right? I think that's good to take for him to need to get 24, even in a tough matchup. This game right here, this is the craziest part. I've been telling you guys a lot recently about one-on-one matchups and what matters and what you should be looking at for data. I looked at the box score for this game. Amin Thompson was his primary defender for the majority of this Rockets game on February the 13th. He still ended with 14 rebound chances, 5 rebounds, 11 potential assists, 4 dimes, and he had the 18 points on 17 shots. So it's not like Amin shut him down, limited his attempts, limited him from getting to the rim, anything. It was still a very, very good game for Pods in that one. So I'm going to still be looking at him in this one at 23.5 PRA. I think we just take it all and put it all together in this one. He should be having a good time against the Rockets, a team that he's done really well against lately. Next lean that I have here, hoping to get down on the card, is an under for Flip. Kyle Filipowski here. He's going up against Atlanta. All right, and the under that I'm looking at here is on the points and rebounds combined. Those are at 26.5. I think that's a great under, and here's why. The Hawks on the season don't look very good against centers, right? They've looked like they've been awful. Their defense versus position is something that we can look at here on Props Madness. And if we're looking at points and rebounds, and we hover over this Hawks game, you can see defensive rank for the Hawks versus position. They're 29th, limiting points and rebounds combined to the center position. But that has not been the case over the last roughly 7 to 15 games. And really, since Onyeka Okongwu has gotten into the starting lineup, this team has been way better limiting centers. Let me take you to FanDuel Fantasy Pros for 1 second and show you what that looks like. I wanted to step away from Props Madness for just 1 second to show you guys FanDuel Fantasy Pros, which shows you defense versus position. So how a team's defense does versus a specific position on the other team. Very basic though, and it does help us a little bit more with recency. So on Props Madness, I can't really get how teams have been defending centers in the last 10 games. I can only get the whole season. But I want to break this down because Onyeka Okongwu starting for the Hawks maybe 15, 20 games ago, probably 20 games ago, right? And in that time frame, they've gone way up in limiting centers, everything, right? So let's go over to centers here. On the season, in terms of points allowed to centers, you can see the Hawks, not very good. They're down here at about 15th, 16th, limiting centers points. As far as rebounds go, they're a little bit better there. They've been pretty good on the season, limiting the centers rebounds, right? Top 4 or so. And since Onyeka, now I'm going to go to the last 15 games, since he's been the starter, things have only gotten better. In terms of the points, they're all the way up to about 6th best limiting points to centers in the last 15. If we look at rebounds, this is the number 1 team limiting center rebounds. So they've only gotten better. limiting everything to the center position since Okongwu started playing way more minutes, as Clint Capella has really been out forever now. And this is their main center. So if we go back to props madness, some things to like here for an under on Flip. 26.5 on the PR. If we look at some of the players that have done that recently versus them, really not that many guys going over on the PR here. Yabu under, well, this is just for points, I should say, but if we look at points, some pretty nice hit rates here. Under in 10 of their last 15 that they've played centers over the course of the last 15 games, and guys that we consider forward centers, the way that we consider Flip more of a forward center. If we look at just rebounds here in these last bunch of games, same concept. Better than half of them have gone under, and we're really not seeing very many double-digit rebounds here, which is what Flip is going to need. He's at like 10.5 boards. He's going to need to get double digits to get his boards in this game, and we're not getting very many guys in the last 15. Looks like just 1, 2, 3 guys, and two of them were Giannis, right? So 2 of the 3 have been Giannis, and then Mobley got 10 as well against this squad on January 30th. Even that might have been too long ago, though, for when Onyeka started being the center there. That made them much better at limiting center points and rebounds. So we're looking at an under here for Flip. This stuff is just too high for him. With or without Walker Kessler, I'm really not worried about it. In fact, if you want me to pull it up, looking at these games without Walker Kessler on the season, it's still really not that helpful, right? And even if we give him about, let's say he gets at least 26 minutes, which is about the floor of what he's played without him, he's still at 9.9 boards. He's at about 16 exactly. So the PR still under at about 26, and he needs to get 27. I think with the matchup in consideration here, this is going to be too tough for Flip to go over, and we're going to be looking at a fade of him in this one. That is all the time I have for you guys in this one. Remember, if we win today, going to start getting on that streak, including tomorrow, with 40% off on the VIP for 2 days. So I want to be doing this for the rest of the regular season. Got about a week left until we get into the playoffs. So I want to get some more people in to help you out with those playoffs bets as we get into it. So until I see y'all next, happy betting.